Hello and welcome to a game of Dota 2. You are watching the Rapture Gaming League and we are still in the group stages. We have got Titan, formerly known as Orange, taking on the Dire side, and they're taking on Awake, who will be playing from the Radiant side in this game. Two strong teams as well. Of course, I mean, Titan in their new lineup, I actually am expecting big things from them. I mean, Ice is a player that they have played together with for, well, previously, not in this specific setup, but they have played with him. So, in terms of getting used to newer players entering lineups, I don't think we're going to have that problem all that much for Titan here. We're going to see a ban out for the Barrier, also a ban out for the Visage and the Darkseer as well. And, of course, I mean, for people wondering, the Rapture Gaming League is a league that runs for a pretty long time. And each team will face each other twice in total. There were 10 teams in the group stages, but with Rising Stars and Rattlesnake being removed from the squad, I mean, they kind of are not allowed anymore to participate due to the Ace tournament. We are left with, what's that? 7 teams. 7 teams here are left in the Rapture Gaming League. We have got Titan, they're still on top of the hill here. We have them played 9 games thus far. They have won 7, lost 2. We're gonna see if they can keep being on top of that list, or if Awake will move a step upward. Awake, who has been playing 9 games as well thus far, so at least even amount of games played for them. They have won 5, lost 4, so they're not looking as sharp as Titan is at the moment. But we'll see if they can make it work for this game, if they can get themselves one step up ahead and be on par with points on with First Departure and Mythtrust, who both have won 6 games. We'll see. By the way, those 2 teams that I just mentioned will be, well, not completely the teams that we'll see today. At least one of them will be. First Departure will be one of the teams that we'll see later on today. This match we'll see First Departure taking on MUFC. MUFC could definitely use some more wins, but of course we're here with Titan and Awake, and we have got ourselves an IO on the board because Titan decided to ban out the Lifestealer and therefore leave the IO in the pool. Now we still have Naga Siren. Speak of the devil. We also still have an OD and a Weaver if Titan wants to go for one of those. And of course, I mean, that's gonna be one of the like best things that you can have up against the IO. The Naga Siren, that is. Because if IO teleports in, you can already anticipate with a song. And you can basically, you know, say, hey, welcome, but either we're leaving or we're gonna take you down and we're setting up for killing you right now. So, very good hero to pick up against that IO. I have to point out that, of course, Extinct, he hasn't been drafting as much as you might think. At least he is new to drafting. Fairly new anyways. For his team, of course. With Orange having a bit of a shuffle, Extinct now taking on the captain role. I'm quite curious to see how he does there, and how we are gonna see his impact on the games to come, as we have got a Weaver still to be picked up. That means that the OD is still in the pool if Awake wants to have it, but perhaps they already want to secure themselves a hero that goes really well together with the IO. If they already want to secure that strong combination, then they can, if they want to. Thinking about perhaps a CK or of the sort. I mean, it's not really a hero that you see per se with an IO anymore, but if you do want it, it's probably best to pick it up now, because the chance of it getting banned out is pretty significant. And going into their bonus time, again I should say, because this is the second time they are doing that. Titan has not used any of their bonus time thus far, so far just been doing it with the time given. And a Weaver and a Naga Siren, 2 heroes that you can do so many things with. They kind of don't give anything away of their draft just yet. Naga Siren, we've seen her in different roles. Weaver, we've seen him in different roles as well. I'm gonna assume that Weaver is a him. Yeah, he is. He definitely is. And Awake continuing to think about what they want to pick up here. You want to have that CK, or the Tiny, or whichever hero you find strong with that IO? Or do you want to secure yourself the OD? Or another strong mid that you think Titan might ban out otherwise? I'm taking a lot of their time. There's already 1 minute past. Only 30 seconds left. It's a Chen that they end up going for. So they've got their support combination ready, so that means they can ban out all the supports that they want to without the fear of banning out something that they might want to pick up later on. It does mean that Titan is open to ban out everything they want up against the IO. As in, just if they don't want to face IOCK, they can remove that from the pool. I like the Chen pickup. It's kind of making for a weak semi-tri lane though. Right now, if Titan wants to go for an aggressive tri lane, they know they're going to be up against a carry with an IO and just a Chen there, and that's not that scary. In terms of being able to save your carry, IO can give him extra movement speed, but that's about it. He dies very fast if he overextends, and I'm hoping that Titan will see that and will indeed go for the aggressive tri lane, as we have got a CK removed from the pool. Titan, no surprise there. We've got ourselves a Templar Assassin as well as the Queen of Pain removed by Awake, so 2 strong solo mids. And the Razor still removed, and Titan goes for the OD. Well, that's something that you could have expected, could have seen coming. And Awake kind of made it that way in terms of banning out 2 other strong mids. Right now, they are up against an OD, and they can't have the Razor, who's of course strong against the OD. They can't have the Life Stealer, who is also sometimes picked up against the OD. Now, of course, it's not only those 2 heroes that can go up against the OD. We've seen before that the Shadow Fiend can do an okay-ish job, but Kunkka even a better job. But I don't think I've seen Awake ever pick up a Kunkka, so we'll see if they go for that one. They end up going for Lone Druid. We've seen Lone Druid up against OD's mid before as well, by the way, as well as Vipers, I guess. But Lone Druid is going to be the one to be picked up here. Awake, I'm in that one. I actually think they are going to put him mid. Still hoping for that aggressive tri lane from Titan. Actually wouldn't mind seeing a Jakiro for them, but we'll find out. Jakiro of course works well together with the Naga Siren. If you want to go for an aggressive tri lane though, perhaps a Rubik is nice. I mean, it's not really working very well together with the Naga Siren, but you've got some extra burst, you've got an extra disable. An extra initiation if you want to have it. And they're taking their time going into the bonus time, which so far they haven't really needed. Maybe they still want to have an Abaddon. Or Tree. I mean, Weaver and OD, we both know how strong that can be. Even with a dual lane. I wouldn't mind seeing a dual lane Weaver and Abaddon. Naga Siren supporting a Gyro top or something. I mean, I like the Naga Siren, don't get me wrong, but they don't really have that much to set up for right now with the song. I mean, the song is going to be there, which is nice. But then the only thing that you can really set up for is the OD and his Sanity's Eclipse. And the Gyrocopter there would help out with that, and, you know, it gives it an extra punch. It is a very greedy lineup, of course, if they do go for that, because Weaver, OD, and Gyrocopter, I mean, yeah, it is a greedy lineup. And perhaps they want to have something first that is a bit more aggressive in the mid game, because they are going to be up against an IO and something, and that's normally fairly aggressive in aggressive in the mid game. And they might want to try and have something that can deal with that. Crystal Maiden is actually a very good one for an aggressive tri lane, potentially. Naga Siren Crystal Maiden combination is nice. A bit of extra burst there as well, and that aura. I mean, one of the things in your aggressive tri lane is that you have to have very good mana control and regen control, because if your regen's out, you cannot be as aggressive as you probably want to be. So you have to make your aggressions worth it. And Crystal Maiden's aura is actually very handy with trying to sustain on the lane. Make sure you have more mana to throw out, more spells to throw out. One more pickup before we go on to the next banning phase. Will it be an offlaner, or will they already reveal what they want to have together with their IO? I mean, we still have a lot of offlaners in the pool. 10 I mean, there's Clockwork, Bounty Hunter, Windrunner, you name it. It's still there. They go for that carry. They go for the Alchemist. Now they needed something with the Solid Disable, so I like it. It's going to be strong together with the IO as well. Not really in terms of relocating, even though they can. Of course, they can even already charge up the stun on Stable Concoction before relocating in somewhere, which is pretty neat.
10 seconds remaining.
But this is mostly going to be a safe farming combination, and I would expect
5 seconds remaining.
with the overcharge it's going to be scary to take down fast towers, especially if you already have a lone druid and a Chen there. The pushing power on the side of Awake is actually quite big.
Team ban.
Nature's Prophet is the one that gets banned out by Titan. The offlaner that they do not want to deal with. And one more hero needed for Titan, and I mean, this is what I like about their lineup, right? I mean, they have so many options. Weaver can go on aggressive trial lane, can go on the safe lane and run an aggressive trial lane with 2 other supports on the suicide lane, or Weaver on the aggressive trial lane and some other safe lane. OD can go safe lane, they could pick up another mid. There are so many options. Timbersaw is going to be the ban out here for Awake. Let's see what Titan goes for though. Which hero, mid-game hero I hope, is going to be keeping them in the game long enough for the OD and the Weaver to be big enough to take the game out. Even though they can't really wait too long, because if Alchemist and Lone Druid get their way, it's going to be over soon.
Seconds remaining.
Both teams in the end using almost all of their bonus time. 9 seconds left for Titan, 6 seconds left for Awake. Making sure that they are taking everything that Valve gives them.
5 seconds remaining.
Or Ice Rock gives them, I should say. Oh wow. I hope that's going to be an aggressive trailer now. Naga Siren and Ursa. It's already a pretty neat combo with the Ensnare, of course, setting up for Ursa just stomping and moving towards his target and start hitting that. And then you've got a Crystal Maiden that has and a slow and a disable. Works very well together with the Ursa as well. And I wouldn't be surprised if this is indeed an aggressive tri lane. And Ursa is one of the heroes that can actually be up against an Alchemist just in a man fight and just take Alchemist down. It's a pretty neat combination. As I just felt the need to tweet this out. There's Bounty Hunter for the last one there. No surprise. As in, it's a strong hero. We've seen it actually before in combination with the IO. It's very effective in terms of you can walk behind a target with the Bounty Hunter and IO can tether himself in and there's instantly a tether disable. A tether stun. They have a very strong lineup though. Awake, looking pretty strong. If this aggressive trial for Titan is not working out, I don't see it ending very well for Titan. Because if Lone Druid and Alchemist get big enough and with the Tracheals, there's no way Titan can get back on top. Especially not if you can assume that if it is indeed an aggressive trial lane, Bounty Hunter will be by himself and will therefore not be shut down at all.
5 seconds remaining.
So let's see who's playing what. We have got, of course, the Rapture Gaming League, which is what you're watching right now. Still on the group stages. Titan, formerly known as Orange, will be on the Dire side, and Awake, or Armageddon Awake, will be on the Radiant side. Titan will have Extinct taken on the Naga Siren. Ohio will play the Weaver. It will be Net taken on the Ursa with Ice on the Crystal Maiden, newly acquired Ice, of course, and KYXY will take on the OD. Here all on the Dire side, as we're gonna see how they will do with their Ursa Warrior, and if they're gonna be trying to maybe... it's not really a good lineup to go for Roche first, but they will all go for bottom for now. Let's take a look at what Awake has in store for us. We have got YO2 playing the IO. We've got ourselves a Lone Druid with a name that I cannot pronounce. But this is the Lone Druid. It will be FTG playing the Alchemist. AFFF is playing the Chen, and then 3KZ will play the Bounty Hunter as the last one here for Awake. All on the Radiant side, as we're gonna probably see them go for some solid lanes, as in Lone Druid mid attempting to go up against the OD with the Bounty Hunter on the off lane and a safe semi-trial lane with the Chen in the jungle and an IO supporting the Alchemist. In terms of Titan, I really am still hoping that they are going to be running an aggressive trial lane here. But we'll see. For now, they're scouting out the Radiant jungle.
30
Ohio is already moving towards top, KYXY as well, and I think these three will stick on this bottom lane and will go for the aggression here. I hope that they are. Perhaps they're going to try to catch out the Chen first, if they can. If they can't find him, I mean, there's going to be an ensnare, there's going to be a Nova. There's no way that he's going to be getting out alive there if Fury's 5 is picked up by the Ursa. For now, though, wards placed, countering the big camps. This one and also this one, of course, blocked right now, so no creeps for Chen just yet, and that means that he has to come past this lane to attempt to go for a creep here, which he won't find, but it does mean that Naga Siren will find him. Naga Siren doesn't have any supports though, as in she is support but doesn't have any backup if she does try to go for the Chen. Crystal Maiden and Ursa have to go to the lane. They cannot really miss that much farm as we already have got a ward countered. Does it actually? Yeah, it counters that one. As soon as IO moves upward, he will be able to counter that. Hello? Thank you. And there we go. Walking up the high ground. In comes the Riptide. Harassment to come. Just hits. But this is enough to force him back. Could have been a first blood if there was also a Crystal Maiden and an Ursa, but they didn't really want to miss any last hits. So far only one last hit's taken by Net though. As Chen gets forced away. We'll probably take Sanctuary in the Dire Jungle knowing that there's nobody there to harass him, because that's going to be a Weaver all by himself, all by his lonesome. Weaver, who should be able to be okay here on this lane, at least in terms of harassment, in terms of farm. But this is definitely not a lane that's going to be like hard for Bounty Hunter. He's going to be allowed to, like, he's going to be last hitting, and he's going to be just as powerful of a force that you would expect him to be if he has almost free farm as Naga Siren and Crystal Maiden counter the Observer Ward that they found. They've not yet tried to go for aggression here. And of course the Sentry Ward, even though it's, you know, it's nice to try and counter ward, it's actually very good also in terms of scouting anybody that tries to move past the tree line. And maybe go for a backstab of some sort. Ursa setting at level 2, Fury's pipes picked up as overpower. Silver Lone Druid up against the OD Lone Druid. Sitting at 6-4 with 8-3 sitting for KYXY on his OD. So very even thus far, so slightly in favor of the OD. And this is still his first bear, so he doesn't have any problems with it dying just yet. Even though he doesn't want to feed 300 gold, of course, which is a pretty big deal. $11 for 7 here, 12 for 7 now for the Ursa with FTG. Sitting on only 4 for 2. So in the previous game I mentioned this for a while. Wait a second, we've got a Chen coming in from the back. It comes to Dust as well as the ensnare. This should be a first blood. One more hit. There we go. It is the Chen that gets it. Forced away from his own jungle. Forced into the Dire jungle. And he takes the spoils. He takes the first blood. As Alchemist is going to find himself a Nova in the face. Crystal Maiden just making sure that he is not welcome there. But yeah, in the previous game I mentioned, well, like one of the things that you can do as an aggressive trialan to make yourself successful. It's a couple of things. But you can either have a free farming safe lane, which, I mean, right now, I mean, he's free farming, but he's not really winning his lane. In terms of last hits, he is, don't get me wrong. But he did die. We'll see how much that will affect him later on. So you can have a free farming lane, and then you have no real pressure to really win your aggressive trialan as long as you're kind of shutting down your opponent lane. And that already is a success. Only 4 last hits for this Alchemist, who actually went into Grievel's Greed. Which is not something that you typically see in an Alchemist that is an aggressive trialan against. Normally just go for Unstable Concoction and the Acid Spray just so you have some fighting potential of some sort. But everybody of Titan sitting well ahead on their lanes in terms of last. It's 23 for 11 on the Ursa, 21 for 2 on the Weaver, and 19 for 12 on the OD in mid, who is still up against a bear that is 12 for 2. So the difference is getting bigger and bigger, as right now, Chen moving back towards the Radiant jungle. Naga Siren finding him again. They know it now. They know he's back. They know they have to be careful. Or they know that they can maybe try to find a kill there, which is of course gonna be a pretty good thing. Frostbite on the creep. That will be dead creep. Ah, send back home. Nicely done. Jen no longer having any mana, it's okay, but making sure that Crystal Maiden and Naga don't get any extra experience is a pretty big deal. I mean, that's one of the downsides of running an aggressive trial lane. If you don't get kills, your supports are going to be under-leveled, and you have to just assume it's going to be worth it in terms of shutting down your enemy carry and getting your safe lane farm up. But it's still pretty painful. Crystal Maiden and Naga Siren, both heroes that really need their levels. Crystal Maiden to just be more survivable, because she is one of the squishier ones. And Naga Siren, of course, she wants to have her song of the Siren, so she wants to get her level 6 at some point. And this OD, even up against the Lone Druid. The Lone Druid, who is supposed to be okay up against an OD mid. He is dominating mid right now. 27 to 13 with Lone Druid sitting on 19 to 10. Can't get the last hits going and have to send his bear back to base to heal, because he can't even resummon his bear. He doesn't have the mana for it. Storm Imprisonment will keep his mana pool up to down to 13 mana, well now 52, because one of the Storm Imprisonment debuffs wore off. But so far only one kill on the board. And I will say I was expecting more kills here for this aggressive tri lane. Well, talking about kills, OD diving mid lane, getting themselves a bear and the master. And if this lane wasn't already won by KYXY, well, it's definitely won by him now. 32 to 15, a kill on top of that, and he's going towards his 4-staff fast. Weaver still doing the worst of all the cores, actually. Even the Ursa is last hitting more than Ohio is. But the dust gets popped. He actually wants to go for this kill. Shikushi chasing him down. Can he actually get that? He gets racked up. It is a time lapse that keeps him safe. Well, he takes the bounty hunter still. And that means it's a 1-for-1 exchange there on the top lane in total. And the only lane that we haven't seen any kills in, and the lane that I was expecting kills to happen in first, is the bottom lane. Still, Ursa is doing really well though. He's got face boots. I mean, he's free farming. There's no way that this lane is gonna go south for Titan anymore. I mean, they have a successful trial in here. That's a given. I mean, the Alchemist is not able to do anything. Still sitting at level 4. 9 last hits for him. Shutdown complete. But they're not getting kills. And even though that's not really needed to make a successful tri lane, it's still kind of depressing. As that's normally one of the things that we look forward to most. And actually, they might be trying to go for something here. In comes the charge up for the stun. Has his spray already down. Alchemist gonna look to charge the stun up on the Ursa. Where he uses overpower. Now goes for it. Takes a lot of damage. He's still able to take down the IO. But at least he gets picked off afterwards. And that's gonna be a 1-for-1 trade. And not a favorable one for Titan at that. They lose their highest farmed hero on the map. They lose their Ursa, who took a lot of damage standing in that acid spray, taking the stun and taking the test of faith from the Chen, of course, who came in to help. He needed that help too. But right now, this is buying some space. Look at this. All of a sudden, last hitting it once more. Last hitting once again. Lone Druid still sitting in the mid lane. 800 gold. 23 for 12 with the OD 43 to 23. This is insane amounts of differences. I would actually say Awake. I mean, I know that you like having your bounty hunter farming, but I think you should probably change your lanes, because at this point, they're not getting anything done at mid game, which is a moment in the game where you would expect them to do well, because they have got an IO. I mean, they're not out of this game yet. I mean, they're up against an Ursa, an OD, and a Weaver. It's... Oh, wait a second. Alchemist charging up the stun. Frostbitten. Stun still hits, though, and that's gonna put him safe. And actually, Crystal Maiden taking a lot of harassment still. Doesn't have anything to do up against the Centaur. Perhaps still was able to get a couple hits going. And then they really want to kill the Centaur. There he goes. That's going to be Ursa with the extra bit of gold. Io goes down again. This time, Net does not die. This time he lives. This time Alchemist is going to be sitting here sad. And he was so happy that he just got 3 extra last hits. But now he's still forced to sit on 12 for 3. But yeah, I really would say change your lanes, because it's not working out. Bounty Hunter is level 8, and I mean, even he should be rotating earlier. He should have rotated at level 6, help out his other lanes, but he keeps going back top. This is not the right play, I feel. Of course, I'm not a professional player, and I think that they will know best. But if I were to doubt something, that's gonna be it.
Radiant's top tower.
They need those track kills. Then you can actually trade. Then you can actually exchange kills and come out ahead. As these three, perhaps they want to try and take down this lone druid. Lone druid who just hasn't showed himself for a while. His bear is in Roche pit, just checking. Getting some scouting going. And now he scouts out some people. Hello. There you are. In comes a Nova. In comes also the 4 staffing OD. And that's going to be one dead lone druid. And possibly one tier 1 tower as well. Titan is going on ahead in this game and is just dominating. Look at this gold graph. A 4k in favor of them and 3k experience in their favor. In the meantime, maybe Bounty Hunter can make something down here. Ohio taking a lot of harassment. We end up going down, but in comes the Crystal Maiden with 1 Nova. Able to kill off the Bounty Hunter himself in the end. Not a favorable trade. On top of that, that was not a track kill. Normally, that would be a favorable trade because of the track kill, but... I mean, it's nice that you pick up the Weaver, but it's not enough at this point. They have a phone call, people. We have to wait. I think Chen's gonna be fine though. I don't think they know that he is sitting around there. And tier 1 tower, because of that rotation, by the way, because of the Weaver in trouble. Tier 1 tower mid still lives. Barely, but still lives. KWXY sitting on already 700 gold. Let's take a look at what the rest is building. This Crystal Maiden who just took herself a kill, got herself boots, sentry ward. All needed to take down the Bounty Hunter, of course, which is the highest farmed hero on the map of Awake, but just died for the 2nd time this game. Ursa sitting on 1900 gold. Hope he's gonna go for Blink Dagger. More aggression coming off from him. We'll see if he indeed does that. Lone Druid in the meantime, I mean, he just died. He doesn't really have anything. I can't even click his bear to see if he has something more there because... well, I don't even think that he has more. I mean, he's sitting on 2k net worth. So 1k is about all that can be up in his bear. Bounty Hunter himself doesn't have Facebooks just yet. Even though he was doing okay. No Facebooks and just... I mean, this is not actually the amount of items that you would expect to see in a Bounty Hunter that has got a decent mid lane. And in the meantime, Lone Druid back in mid. He's got some boots. That's what he had. Those 500 gold, over 1000 gold I should say. Extra. Oh, Weaver, he changes lanes and Snare is there. Alchemist already charging up the stun, can go for a dual stun right now and tries to run for it. And that should be enough. In comes 3KZ. Sentry ward gets placed, they know he's there. Creeps will chase him down. He walked past the sentry ward right there. So he was spotted out. 3 heroes back on the bottom lane. No Ursa though, Ursa is going for Roche. Ursa, we just picked up something with his new items. Vlad's is ready. It's going to be allowing him to do Roche.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Dire's top tower.
Let's see if he can. I think he can. Awake. Oh, Awake. No detection here. He has to go back out. They know he's there. They saw him go back in and out. Or did they? No, they didn't. In comes Crystal Maiden. He's not got any detection either though. And the Aegis gets still picked up by Ursa. In comes a track net. He's gonna be happy that he didn't lose his Aegis right there. Sentry ward goes down, but it's too late. Nova still comes. Is it enough? No, they don't have any extra detection. You need smoke. Dust, rather. You need dust. Take them Bounty Hunters. They're way too fast otherwise.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Ohio sitting by himself on the bottom lane, watching Alchemist farm, who's now got 28 last hits. He's sitting on 1k gold. He's finally getting himself some extra gold here with level 2 in Grievous Greed. And actually, he's gonna go for the IO. Look at that harassment. And he's just gonna go again. One Gemini attack, perhaps it's gonna be enough. No, he doesn't go for it in the end. Tier 1 tower mid still goes down. No surprise there. Looking for the lone druid. And he found him. Oh, bit of slow reaction speed right there. Entangles, are they there? One entangle will save his life, but he walks right into the hands of Ohio. And still comes a Nova, doesn't actually hit on the lone druid. Tether is there. Bear is able to walk through the Weaver. Are they gonna dive this? They might be able to. Bear himself goes down. 300 gold extra to net. Down goes the lone druid still. In comes the Sanity's Eclipse. IO drops, and that's gonna be one dead Alchemist as well. 3 for 0 here with Ohio taking a double kill. 5 heroes of Titan on this bottom lane. And they have got full control of this game. They are holding on to the reins, and they are making sure that everything happens the way they want it to. 3 to 9 is the kill score. The gold graph goes to towards the 12k in their favor. Almost 1k gold per minute. Going the way of Titan. Experience graph going towards the 7,500. And look at that net worth difference. I mean, okay, there's 3 towers difference, which is fair enough. But the difference is just quite big. And with a blink dagger now up on net. Goes for the Chen. In comes the ensnare. Hand of God tries to help out. In comes Awake. In comes the Alchemist. Down goes the Alchemist. Aegis still gets popped. That's something good at least. But they do lose their Alchemist forward as IO tries to get himself away from Ohio. Successfully so. I doubt the same thing is going to happen for the Bounty Hunter though. We're still here. Gets dusted up and snared and taken down. Crystal Maiden still gets taken down by Chen Creeps. MVP, Chen Creeps. It's the 2 for 1 trade. Well, 2 for 2 if you count Aegis as a person, but I don't think we can. Titan still getting the longer end of the stick. And is still going for the tower. Will be the 4th tower to die on the side of Awake, while there's no towers whatsoever down on the side of Titan. This is just utter destruction on the side of Awake. We have got the graph. I mean, it's dropping even further right now. What could they possibly do to keep in this game? I mean, their IO isn't even level 6 yet. That's the one mid-game thing that you would expect from them, you know, relocates with IO, making them strong and such, but they can't even do that. And even if IO would be level 6, who's he gonna take? Is he gonna take an Alchemist that only has treads, no Shadow Blade or whatnot? Is he gonna take a Bounty Hunter that doesn't even have phase boots? They can't really get any kill apart from a Crystal Maiden if he's lucky, and Crystal Maiden is by default not really gonna be walking around by herself, is she? Purely because of that very fact. They need to delay this game. They need to let their Lone Druid farm even more. Lone Druid who's sitting on 2k gold. Who really still wants his Radiance. But it might be too late by the time that that he has his Radiance. Especially if he gets picked off more. 4 heroes up at Titan in the mid lane. Ursa as well, waiting for a blinking opportunity. There he is, finds himself the Bounty Hunter. Bounty Hunter already dead. Ned getting himself tracked up, so that at least makes sure that Awake knows where Ned's hanging out. But he's gonna still blink in. Goes for the bear. Why not? Take down a bear. That's a good pickup. That's a solid pickup. 300 extra gold if they get it. Boom. Dead. KYX by takes the gold home. And who cares about tier 2 towers if you can get kills, apparently. His OD. Mechanism ready, 1600 gold. 2k gold already up on the Ursa again. And even the Crystal Maiden and the Naga Siren are pretty rich. I mean, we've got mana boots up on the Naga Siren in 17 minutes with wards being picked up constantly. Net. He can blink in. If he can just find himself an opportunity, gets tracked up. Now everybody knows where everybody is. Titan. No longer the inconspicuous enemy. Shadow Amulet picked up by the Alchemist, who still wants to have a Shadow Blade. Let's see if he can get it. It's Titan though. I mean, even though they're not getting anything extra out of this, they're not getting any extra kills or something, they're at least making sure that Awake is not farming none of their cores, which really need that farm. Alchemist really needs that farm. Lone Druid really needs that farm. They're not really able to farm all that freely. Lone Druid is farming on the top lane though, that's at least something. 2,500 gold, but they know that he's not that big of a threat just yet, and they're actually going to force him down right now because, you know, there's only one tower left standing, and that's the tier 2 top, so they can take it down. And actually, wow, that's just bad play. I was not really looking at him because I was expecting him to already move back. They were heroes tracked up on Titan. Still, we have Ohio tracked up. He saw everybody coming around. He knows that there's a force up on OD. He should have been aware that people were coming for him and for his farm and for his tower. It's the most logical proceedings that you can think of. Yes, that's right. You see that right. Hannah Midas Crystal Maiden. That's the kind of game that says goes towards a 20 gigawatt in favor of Titan. And it looks like Titan is steering towards staying on top of the group standings in the Rapture Gaming League, because at the moment there's nothing that Awake can throw at them that can actually allow them to fight back all that much. Down goes the tier 3 tower. Still no snare upon KYX right from the Chen, but the Chen creep does die for it in the end. Frostbite on the bear. Can they actually kill off the bear? They might be able to, but the rest of the group is not actually going for the bear. They're maybe going for different targets. Bear still picked up. Nice double stun from the Alchemist. Still afraid to come in close though. Acid Spray is the only thing they can really throw at them. And even that they can't anymore because there's no more mana up on the Alchemist. And Alchemist himself, in some trouble, tries to run for it. Goes down though. OD Sanity's Eclipse gets dropped on top of his head. And he dies. Down goes the Rex as well. I wouldn't be surprised to see a GG coming out, and there it is. Awake have to call it quits, have to give up, because Titan is just doing their new name justice right now. They look to be godlike here, and they look to be indestructible in taking down Awake for the Rapture Gaming League. Well, we're gonna see another game of the Rapture Gaming League after this one, so stick around for that. We're gonna watch MUFC take it on first departure. For now, though, we will be right back, and we'll be giving you some music because the next game will be up in about 35 minutes, so we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.